conference will now be recorded.
Okay, welcome everybody to Tuesday night, the 10th of March of 2026. We were just updating each other before we turned it on. It sounds like uh, we're all we're here and we're just dealing with life, and so we're gonna go ahead and do introductions. Hey Rick, we just started recording. So just go ahead and introduce yourselves and let us know if you need time tonight. So we definitely give you time. And we're going to start with Alyssa. Oh, I should introduce myself so far. Sorry, I'm tired. I've been up since 3. So y'all, I
Yeah,
say
why
this
don't you go
anyway.
first?
What?
Kim, go first.
Thank you. Yeah, so the cog fog is going to be a little even worse than normal. So we're just rolling with it tonight, guys. So Kim, I was going to say Michigan. That's how tired I am because we were just talking about Michigan. I've never lived in Michigan, guys. Kim, Iowa, Orcovus, 2012, relapsing remitting. Okay, that's me. Now take the floor, Alyssa.
Alyssa, 2000, Los Angeles, Mavenclad, and yeah.
Time tonight? Excellent. We'll
Oh,
swing it
no,
over.
no.
No? No? Oh, I
I
thought,
mean,
yeah, like, yeah,
I
I need
don't care.
time.
Oh, no. Well, not. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I
We're
do.
for a yes. We're just going to go for a
Yes,
yes.
I
Okay.
do. I want some time.
Thank you. Andrea, your turn. Take it over, girl.
I'm Andrea. I live on the North Carolina Outer Banks. I was diagnosed in 2012. I am on Ocrevus. If we have time at the end or if I'm not too tired, yes, I don't know. I'm with you. This time change is killing me. I
It's not
woke up
helping.
at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why anyway, yeah, it's killing me. And I want to say happy National MS Awareness Month
I
to
guess I am wearing my
everybody.
orange today, so I guess I did.
Oh, good for you. I'm
I
not, but
I wore my FMS shirt last week.
good.
I should ask my
Good.
husband
You
to
got
bring
a
down
whole
my.
month to make people
Correct.
aware of MS this month.
Okay. All right. We will then kick it over to John. Take on over,
Hey,
John.
I'm John. I'm from Michigan. I was diagnosed in 2016, almost 10 years ago, just in a couple months, 10 years ago. I'm on Zeposia, and I have such good things to tell you, such weird things to tell you, some advocacy that I've done for myself. So I would like a little bit of time, please.
Sweet. Thank you, John. We'll swing it over to Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Michigan. I was diagnosed in 97. I currently take Rituxan. And yes, I would love time because it's so much to catch up with you all.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear. Glad you were able to make it tonight. It's so great to see you.
Thank you. Me too.
And Carmen, welcome. Take over. I'm not even going to say all my stuff. I can't do it tonight.
Hi, I'm Carmen. I was going to do like the world's shortest intro, like you were doing, like just one words, but I'm going to use actual sentences. So, anyway, I have primary progressive MS. I was diagnosed in 2014. I am currently not anything, but I would like some time because I have a couple of good things to update people about too. So, looks like we're all competing for good time.
Awesome.
Woo!
And then because tonight's an off night, we're just gonna go ahead and have Rick introduce himself, even though he doesn't have MS. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Rick, because it's just a weird day. Just go for it.
It is a weird day, and I'm very grateful to be in the MS group because my prostate group just made me a little crazy right now. So,
welcome to more crazy.
maybe I'll be an honorary MS person tonight. And I just want to say, what time change?
Yeah, yes. I
Oh,
love you, Rick,
right.
but I love you, Rick, but screw you, Rick. You know, that's just
Screw
not
you,
fair.
entire
That's not
state of
fair.
Arizona.
We
Oh,
don't
I will be
like you
cussing
anymore,
you
Rick.
out
Get
in
out of
Wasn't
here.
so far away, I would
Yeah.
move to Arizona.
I will be cussing you out this fall when we gain
let
an
me
hour
just
of my
tell you,
thoughts
the
freak
time
out.
change, as it so happens, the time change is driving me nuts too, because all my meetings are at different times now. Okay.
True, there is
So
Deal with it.
downside.
you think it's just a one-off. For me, it's like from now from now until November, all my meetings are like earlier than they were.
I
And
guess
there's-
there has to be a
Mhm.
con somewhere.
there you go. Goodbye. I'll listen. I'm listening in the background for a while, but I just want to say one thing, and I really mean this because I noticed it. All six, yes, all six of you look very well tonight, and I can't remember when I've been able to say that, but everybody looks well, and that is really heartwarming for me.
Yay,
It
well,
was
thank
tough
you.
beforehand, but you know, having this group has been very energizing in the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Not gonna lie, y'all. Not gonna lie, you guys are
Not
amazing.
gonna lie.
Not gonna lie. My husband did bring my orange bandana down, so I am gonna put it on. So who wants to kick us off with the dates on life? Who wants to start first?
First of all, I just want to say it's pretty funny that Rick is coming to our group for a bit of normalcy. That's
Yeah.
That does say something. That does say something.
It does.
I
Because
can
we
go
all look
first, but
normal.
yeah.
Maybe we're very good about being very accepting because, you know, we can vary widely depending on the day and you know,
Yeah, we get a lot of
like
practice.
yeah, like I wanted to say I was from Michigan today. I've never lived in Michigan in my life, but you know, that's what happens when you haven't slept and had a crazy day. So
Yeah.
who's kicking us off?
I'll go.
So,
I'll start. Oh, sorry, Alyssa. Go ahead.
Sorry,
no,
Alyssa.
mine's super fast.
Okay,
I got
Alyssa.
a phone call from somebody the other day, and haven't spoken to him since he came out here for our father's funeral. My brother. And it was the most awkward 15 minutes of my life.
Oh, oh.
I mean, like, I should have been excited to be talking to my brother, but my affect was so flat. And what then is now happening is because he feels that since he spoke to his sister, it opened the doors to then reach out to the rest of the family and ask them for money. So I feel very used.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry. That sucks.
How long ago did your dad pass away, Alyssa?
My dad passed away 3 years ago. I'm not sad about that. I had no relationship with my father. It's my mother who I had the relationship with. It's the fact that my brother,
Yeah.
who
I just
came
want,
out here for the funeral, was not even here for 24 hours.
yeah.
And I mean, he's married to a grifter.
You know, I really relate to this, Alyssa. I know this is being recorded, but I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. But I have a very toxic relationship with my sister and have done for as long as I can remember, in degrees of toxicity. But about 2 years ago, I was trying to help her with something, and for reasons I don't understand, she got aggravated with me because I was trying to help her, and she told me she was divorcing me, and that was it. and I haven't spoken to her since then. And I have to tell you, it's been a huge relief for me. A huge, huge, huge relief.
So it was
You
it
know,
was an actual very positive for you to have that severing of that relationship for you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's important to
yeah.
admit and go, yeah, this was a good, this was actually a beneficial, good thing for me.
my
Right,
brother and I, when we were growing up, we were thick as thieves.
really.
And he went to Tulane for college. Came home, was working, and met this woman who trapped him into having a baby, and then two more, and he's miserable. But he got himself into trouble, and it has been years, and I have worked so hard to accept the fact that that brother that I was so close with, I can't expect to have him back in my life. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. And he's
Yeah.
6'6", so I can't throw him very far. Um, but I mean, the fact that he called me was almost a way to be like, "Hey, fam, look, I reached out and spoke to Alyssa, who you all said, in order for me to get anything from you guys, I need to talk to my sister." And then he turned around and asked my family for money.
Okay, but
So,
that's not on you, Alyssa. That's not on you,
Not your
and
fault.
you can't even begin to take it on. I mean, when people behave in these weird ways, um, the best we can do, I think, is to insulate ourselves as best as possible. And your family knows that. They
oh, yeah,
using you as an excuse. Your family's got it. They're gonna talk to you. I mean, don't. I would say don't take it on yourself. What 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 does the rest of this group? We have some wise people in this group. What do they say?
I think it sounds like Alyssa kind of already knows that.
Yeah.
I do.
That, nah. So
I
it
have
just
been,
feels good.
I've been having my own, I have my own therapy. And I mean, I've been working on this from when he first got with this woman and got married.
Mhm.
And I mean, that was 10 years ago. So, I mean,
Mhm.
I've been processing it and working on it, and I have found that I'm at a much better place getting through it. But then he calls me, and it throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
definitely see it throwing you for a loop. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I get it. I get it.
And then you have to like reset and say,
Uh huh.
yeah. And that's why it's good that you're here with the group tonight, just to say, you don't have time for that.
I
You're
don't. I've
better.
got enough stuff with MS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let yourself feel the feelings, get it out, and then be able to move forward from it. So
Thank you guys for listening.
Well,
that's what we're
thank
here
you for
for.
sharing that.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Anything else you wanted to say before we go on to the next person? Let's make sure want to sure you got the space you needed.
Um,
Okay.
and happy MS Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
Super Mario Day.
I have a question for you. How are you healing? Have you healed well from your
Oh,
surgery, or is
I'm
everything
fine.
okay?
I'm good. I'm doing really well. I'm able to walk. I actually slept in my bed last night, which I've done a few times on and off. It's just hard for me to have the strength at the end of the day to get myself into the bed. And I do have a wound on my right breast that is giving me a problem. But other than that, I am A-okay. I'm not taking any pain meds whatsoever.
Oh, good. Okay,
And the
great.
fact that I've been taking gabapentin for as long as I have, and it's in my system, that has kept me from having any nerve pain.
Oh, that's something my mom has had issue with that, so I'm glad to hear you're not having that.
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Rick.
Pleasure.
Okay, who would like to go next? John, take it away.
All right, this is live from the old folks' home. Updating anyone who I haven't seen in a while, but I think I've seen you all. Rick, my wife left me.
Yeah.
That she walked out on me, and now I'm here. But today, OT and PT had to have a meeting with me because all we need is just 2 more clicks of a roller coaster, and we're over the big hump. Like, I do not need help transferring to the bathroom anymore. I can dress myself. OTs are hilarious because they are pack rats. They'll keep anything. Do you know what we're using at first? A pink flamingo chip clip. We're hooking
Whatever
it
it takes.
from
Whatever it takes.
front, go
Right.
from my shirt to put it down to my underbriefs and my shorts. So when I stand up, it pulls it up. But it wasn't
Oh,
always working. So now we have a binder clip, and that works out very well.
It's nice.
So I can put my clothes on, I can undress myself. I'm working on self sufficiency. Today, OT said, "Well, would you like to go to um and like make food?" I was like, "Oh, like a peanut butter and grape jelly sandwich with hot chocolate." She's like, "Oh, so you've already done that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've mastered that. I'm good." Um, so that is helping my overall mental health. Last Thursday night, however, I did have a dream that Melissa was abusing me.
Oh, that'd have been really rough dream.
Ooh.
Oh,
Like very
tough.
vividly just
Yeah,
abusing me.
sounds horrible.
So Friday wasn't a great start. And Friday I had plans to go to like the shop to play cards with the guys. I should have stayed home because the second that I got there, um, I urinated and I didn't have extra with me. And then I urinated once or twice more. And when I got back, we couldn't find a brief or a pull up that would fit me, that would work. And I'd already had such a rough, bad day, and I got loud with the nurses.
Mhm.
And that sucks because that's not me.
Well, I'm assuming you apologize later once you felt better. I know you, John. Like you'd be like, I
Yeah.
was having a really bad day, and
Yeah.
it just kept adding on, and I just couldn't deal with it. Yeah.
And I can
And
guarantee you those nurses have dealt with that before and they
Oh yeah.
understand.
And they're not
yeah.
the and they're not used to being apologized to. So that meant
Right.
massive when you like, oh crap, I messed up. I was having a
And I
real rough time.
I really like everyone here, but when I'm all upset and having a panic attack slash temper tantrum, please don't tell me to calm down
Yeah, that
Right.
doesn't work
because
well.
that's just that I'm sorry, that doesn't always work.
That does the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Me
John,
too.
what
We
would you recommend someone to do when you're in that situation? Because I would like to know like what would be good for
uh
me to do if I have someone like that's going through that.
um like take a step or two back instead of telling me to like calm down or take breaths or everything. Just be calm and let me get frustrated, let me get pissed, and let's think of a solution. Oh, I can wait here for like 15 minutes while you run and hit the supply closet across the street to see if there's anything. All right, cool. Come back 15 minutes later, everything's fine. We wipe me off, we blah, 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 and we're good. Just all that stuff before that, you know. And
I-
jokingly, I put a sign on my door has like do not disturb, out of office, in meeting, please knock. So twice so far this week, twice so far, I've been in therapy sessions where you guys have seen me sob, but that was light compared to what I was going through in each of those therapies. And someone walked in. And so when it happened again today, the nurse apologized and said, it was my fault. I did not bring it up during the huddle. I meant to bring it up during the huddle, but I forgot to. And then she got the charge nurse and said, give me your schedule for tomorrow because for huddles for another week, it's going to write, please make sure John is accepting visitors. John is in therapy. Do not disturb. So I'm satisfied with that. But my mind went one of three ways. Okay. The first way, just get a bigger sign. But I took that high road, just getting a bigger sign and taking it as a learning lesson, even though I wanted to start throwing shit. I'm not that guy. I'm trying to work through being that guy. Part of me wanted to get a sign printed that says, do not disturb. John could be masturbating. Do you really want to take that chance? Or can this wait until he's done?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're a grown man, if you don't respect privacy, you may not see things you want to
Yeah.
see. That's
The third
perfectly
option,
reasonable.
the
Personal.
third option would be to get that, but on like a vinyl car wrap, all over covering my entire door. Just big bold print. So no, I got like the 14 by 17 do not disturb.
So I take it there's no such thing as a lock.
We cannot lock ourselves in here because there's too many things that other people could do with their medicine in here.
Right.
Because they're all
That's
old
what
and
I
they'll forget
figured.
and they'll just
Right.
lock their door. Yeah.
Right. But so with that being the case, yeah, they should respect any sort of sign, like,
Yeah.
just like a hotel room, do not disturb sign,
Yeah.
or
Or
come on in.
or your therapist, when they come in, they immediately put on the door, therapy
Yeah.
in session, do not disturb. Like, that's probably the
Yeah.
best, easiest solution. Like, I don't feel like it should be your onerous, is that the word? Like, it's not your
Yeah. Yeah.
responsibility.
It's
Like,
not on
they
me.
should have a sign they should stick on the door when they go into a patient's room in therapy, especially with you, with all the, all the things that all the raw emotions you're going to be experiencing.
Yeah.
They need to put a note on the door when they enter, and they take it away. Ask them to do that. Go,
Here
and I think that'd be
here
common.
here is the
Nobody's
thing
therapy should be
that
interrupted.
this is
Absolutely
what
not.
majorly pissed me off. Oh, John, the sign is so small.
So
It's
what?
red right in front.
Have him get a neon sign that's right. You put it right by the door, or put it on the doorknob so they have to touch it.
And on the air sign.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I was thinking.
And then
Yeah.
and then you tell your therapist if someone opens the door, the first thing they say, excuse my language, get the F out, or get the fuck out. We're in a therapy.
Yep.
This is not time for you to be in here. Out. And I would be very have the therapist be loud and abrasive and
Yeah.
go, oh, well, we can't do that, because they're used to, like, you're in this mentality when you're in that kind of facility where you just always come in willy-nilly, no care
You
in the
do your
world.
thing.
Hey, Nate, good to
Yeah.
see you. So yeah, I would put it on the therapist's onerous responsibility to have a sign, and if someone does come in, they yell at them immediately. Like,
Yeah.
this is not
Loudly.
cool. This is not appropriate.
Yeah. So I feel like that is going to be taken care of, which makes me happy. I had a good day in therapy. It's somatic therapy today. And it's my first time really doing that because I didn't know how I felt about it. But I was with an old friend, like one I've known for 20 years. It was telehealth and it was amazing. Like we dug And anytime like I said something, she's like, you just put your head down. Let's come back to this. And we just went through emotion by emotion. We never really tried to keep a track or anything. And it was just about how my body feels as I am doing.
So explain to me again, what kind of therapy was this with your friend?
So it's called somatic,
Okay.
and it really just means checking in with your body while you're having heavy emotions.
And this
So
is a
when they
type of
say
therapy that she does on her own, and she's just a
it's
friend,
a
or you
it's
just
a
like,
it's it's a friend that I've had for a long time, and she's been doing it for a long time. And she said, John, I think you'll benefit from this. I'm willing, like, no charge or anything. I just been saying for 10 years, what can I do to help John? So this is the way that I think I can help John. And then we even talked about it like for a couple days before we started it, you know. So it was good. It was hippy dippy. It was all that stuff, but it instead of being like, oh, how do you feel about that? Asking about how are you thinking about that? It's how are you physically feeling about that? Like, what does that do?
mm-hmm.
Like when I was talking about helping the nurses or telling the nurses what to do, like I puffed up my chest a little bit. I sat up straighter. So I know that, like, hey, maybe you can trick yourself into that, like sit up straight, and then you can be your advocate that you want. So things like that. I went through all my tissues.
I'm so glad that you had idea, talked it over, decided to go through it, and you found it super effective and healing and therapeutic. And
Very
kudos to your
helpful.
friend, and kudos for you for being open and trying, even though it was hippy dippy. Who cares what it's like? If it's helpful, who cares what it's like?
Exactly.
Keep an open
Exactly.
mind.
And well, we were in a band together. So she was the
Oh,
lead singer in a rockabilly band of mine. And we've been friends like ever since. And it was like 2005 when we were doing this, maybe even earlier. And then at the end of our session, we were just talking. And she's like, how do you feel about getting back into music? And Nate coming in really popped that up. And I said, I could keep a bass in here, but I want a ukulele. Like, I want to play some ukulele in here because I have one. And then before I come to this, I go see some friends of mine stream. She plays accordion, he plays mandolin. They're both in their 70s and they're amazing. And they started singing Sloop John B. I want to go home. Oh, tell me, I want to go home. And I'm like starting to cry because like I want to go home. Oh, wouldn't that be cool to sing that and learn how to play that? So I'm going to get my ukulele up here and learn how to play that, sing that, and of course, Brain Damage by Pink Floyd, because the lunatic is on the grass. So it feels good by like going through a session of very intense therapy and coming up with like such positive feelings and ideas about, well, this is your world. You're gonna do what you got to do, you know. And yesterday, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it was so sunny here in Michigan, Jennifer. It was so beautiful yesterday. I rolled out, I sat in the sun, and this is what I saw. My own little garden at my new place. My dog's coming to visit at my new place. Hanging out with friends at my new place. Playing music with one of my good friends. My new place. Planting that amethyst acorn that those hippy dippy crystal girls at the hospital gave me. I say that with so much love because they're great. It's an amethyst shaped acorn. And I can't wait to plant that where I'm going to grow. And with having Medicaid being approved, and with being able to just, like put vision on like I want to get out of here by June 12th, my birthday, being reachable. If they wouldn't interrupt me during therapy, I'd be doing really great today.
Can you
I'm going to be really
remind John what is your long-term plan? because some people came in late and they may not know. And
Oh yeah. So today we made the announcement that like I'm at the peak of PT and OT. I just need people in front to lean forward to pull the rest of the train down for living independently. Like I'm dressing myself, I'm toileting myself. I need help, but I'm not afraid to ask for it. And so my plans after this are to move to Mount Pleasant, Michigan, where I taught. I was a bouncer, you know, where my fucking family lives, right?
Oh,
And it's in the place I'm looking for is really great. I have a friend whose aunt lived there. Aunt Pam died of Down syndrome when she was in her mid 70s, which is a very old age to get to. And like sometimes I'd go over and visit Pam and bring her some McDonald's, and the place was just sorry.
And you can't think of what the name is, John?
I really, really can. And it's the Divine Living Center of Mount Pleasant.
I don't know where that is, so I'm excited. I can't do two things at one time, i.e. Google while I'm talking to you, but I will look.
So this is where it is. It's on Broadway, east far enough to be like just south of the water park. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like kind of in a neighborhood rather than on like M20 or whatever.
Okay. We're still
And
going to
that's
be close to each other.
very, very close to each other. It used to be called the Prestige Center.
Okay.
See, there you go. Because
I get you.
everything gets bought around here so quickly and changed over.
Yeah. But
remember,
congrats.
you need to post videos or photos when you finally get to meet each other.
Yes.
for real.
For real.
All right, so I'm done. If that's okay, like I don't need to have anything more to really talk about.
Okay. Well,
Anyone have
John,
any questions about my shit?
I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, as an aside, at some point we need to figure out like a time because now we have Nate coming in. We have John that wants to do the ukulele. I know Karen sings. We need to have like a music jam session where I get to enjoy all of your guys' amazing talents. Okay. I'm selfish and I want to experience your talents. Okay. So we're gonna have to figure it out when we bring it. You bring in your whatever instrument, you're singing whatever, and we get to enjoy everybody's talents. Okay.
I know what I want to play, and I know that Karen would want to play too. Tiptoe through the tulips, through the window. A little bit of that old stuff.
Maybe I can tap dance for you all. to Spice World, the Spice Girls. I'm 13. I'm learning with junior and senior high school students. And the other thing I wanted to say, John, as much as it sucks that your life was in total up, like you got thrown like when you look at the scale of stressful events, you were thrown a handful of them. But
yeah,
holy crap, dude, the amount of progress you have made in being self-sufficient and walking and dressing like I can't blowing my mind. You are blowing my mind, John.
I'm resilient as fuck, and I'm
I know
stubborn
you are.
as fuck.
SMSers tend to be that way. But look how
once I get it under my
you
skin, like
no clue. And look at you now. Damn. I'm sorry. I'm all so explicit tonight, guys. I had a short night. I'm sorry. That's just how we roll tonight. But
I've got one more quick thing. I'm so sorry. I'm getting a new wheelchair. Like it's been put through because this wheelchair, the arms, and about mid seat. So I'm getting out of my chair rather than standing up for my chair. And the foot plate doesn't move. And blah 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 blah. I'm getting a fucking power assist chair. So it's not powered all the time, but when I'm out at the Meyer Gardens this summer, I can drop it down and do the thing.
Nice.
That fatigue is just kicking your butt. You got that you don't have that fear of like, am I going to be able to make it back? Am I going to be able to do this? Oh, that's just so awesome. Well, that was a great update, John. I'm sorry you had the therapy issue, but wow, like you way to be in charge and taking, you're blowing me away. I'm just in awe of it all. And I look forward to seeing footage of you being able to do certain things. And I am just super excited. I'm super
I'm gonna
pumped.
get a GoPro with my.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if sounds weird, but with my alimony, I'm gonna get a GoPro mount for my power chair or for my power assist chair, and just go for drives and stuff like that. Because I have ADHD and I want to do stuff with it.
And then I really want to, I know, but life has been insane, but I would love to make a trip out to Michigan sometime, before the snow flies again, be
You're
able to come up
always welcome here,
and
Jen.
visit. I haven't seen Jen and Dan forever now that he's recovering from his surgery. I feel like it'd be a really great trip for me to come out there
Yeah.
and visit.
And
Unfortunately, Carmen's
Kim,
still too far away, but I can make it up.
Kim,
How many hours is it to Des Moines from Mount Pleasant? You would know, Jen. How many hours is it to drive?
Des Moines is more western, yeah.
Right.
I'd say 10.
If we go to Monticello or go to Cedar Rapids, that's about 9.
Okay.
And we stop frequently so that,
Mhm.
Dan
Yeah.
can use the bathroom and he can stretch and everything. But yeah, I would say about 9 from Cedar Rapids.
You guys can come to California. Yeah, right.
Oh,
If
that
I
would
get
be
out there,
nice.
I'll definitely get. Okay, it says 9 hours. Oh,
I've always
Okay.
wanted to go to Knott's Berry Farm.
yeah.
I haven't
Well,
been there
I
either.
haven't been there in ages.
no, I've always told Rick for years, and
Done
everyone else
Disney,
is
Six
my witness.
Flags.
We should have a conference where all the different AnCan people get together and we
Yeah.
meet, and then you can break out into the different MS groups. Yes, Rick.
I'm gonna turn off my mic and my camera because I need to snack, and we don't need that visual.
The visual doesn't bother me as
Yeah,
long
we're
as I don't
fine.
have to hear the sound. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
it's the sound.
shoot whatever you want. I don't care. Okay, what do you want to say, Rick? And then we got to introduce Nate and Karen here before we continue on.
No, I meant to put a clap up instead of a hand.
Yes. Let's talk to Bill and everyone else and make it happen. I want somewhere accessible that people can go. And does anyone want to research this? Figure it out? Anyone want to make a committee or start being in charge of where a place that we have a bunch of people and it would be accessible for people? And
I think you've got to talk to Bill and get Bill on it. You have my approval to talk to Bill and get Bill on it, okay?
okay,
I mean,
I've
the
been
best
talking
place
about
I can think of with what you described is Las Vegas, right?
Las Vegas. I heard has gotten super pricey though.
It
Even
is
if
very
that's
pricey.
it's very accessible. It's in the middle of everything. It's easy to get to. Other than that, you will have Laughlin, which is not too far from Vegas, which is very similar. The reason I'm thinking this is because those casino towns, even Reno, they make it so that people with disabilities can get around easily.
Yeah, I would
Vegas,
like to go ahead.
Vegas is further from where I live than Los Angeles is. Just
Oh,
wait, no, I'd have to live a lot further south for that. Never mind.
No.
Never mind.
I would think the other way around. I'm like,
Yeah,
you live in the ocean?
I do not have a master's degree in earth science or anything. I did have something to eat.
Yeah,
anyone
no.
If anyone
I'm
wants to
way
take
further
initiative
west.
on this, on finding a location that we could host a conference, please do, and tap Rick and Bill and me onto it, and let's make it happen. Let's make it rain.
other
Come on,
thing.
guys. I don't know it's slang.
That's the other thing about Vegas. The only thing that they have as much casinos of is conference centers. There's always a convention there. There's multiple convention centers. But anyway, I'm not trying to sell at Las Vegas.
No, I just need ideas. Like I just need a
Yeah.
place that could handle, our needs and what we want. And it's nice to have a place that has like a main a bigger city with a main airport versus
something to
like having
do.
to do like a puddle jumper, have to, drive so many hours. So yeah. Okay. Well, while you're talking, Nate, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know if you need time tonight, and then we're gonna go ahead to Karen so she can introduce herself, and then we'll jump back in. Okay. Sorry, it took me so long. We went all over the
Hey,
place.
I'm Nate. I've been around. I haven't really got to introduce myself as much or really tell my story. And I think I'd like to do that tonight. So yeah, I would like time.
Excellent.
And
Okay. Karen, are you
Yeah,
available
sure.
to introduce yourself? I don't think you've
I don't
met
know.
Nate before.
I've listened to Nate. I mean, I noticed that the sessions don't get posted as frequently or as comprehensively on YouTube. I don't know what's happening with that.
They
I just
record me
had
when I'm doing them, so
what?
that I hit the record button, so I don't know about
Well,
these. So
whoops. I'm on I just haven't seen it, you know, and actually I haven't talked to my friend who feels like she's my secret pal who has listened to many of the sometimes she'll update me. She goes, "Oh, do you know what happened with so and so and so and so?" But we haven't talked in a long time, like 6 weeks or more.
yeah,
So
the last. Go ahead.
but anyway, she goes, "Well, I feel like I'm part of the group." And nobody knows her. Hannah knows her because she's come to the art thing, and then my friend accidentally emailed Hannah after I think after that solo arts heal thing that I did, and Hannah realized I think you were writing to Karen, not me. I don't know. Anyway, I had this in my calendar, and I haven't been here for a long time, and I don't know. I just needed to sit and relax for a little while, and I said, "Well, let me see." I'm Karen. I'm in Oakland, California. I I mean, I'm looking around and I'm staring at Carmen because we were sort of in similar places, with decline and what's going on and undecline and whatever. And then Andrea, I did follow a little bit with that, but Andrea looks better. And I haven't seen Jennifer in a long time. But I don't know. I just thought I'd come and say hello because it's been a long time. And no, I would never play tiptoe to the frickin' tulips. Thank you very much. I don't really need assignments. You know, people do that all the time. They give me assignments. You know that. Not just music, right? Well, why don't you just, I know someone and they can, it's so irritating.
So you're saying I
So,
can't put in a song request then? No song request for Karen to sing?
well, I just spent 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at a online music thing, and they were bugging me. Do I want to offer a workshop? No, I don't want to offer a workshop. If I do, I need time. I have to wait till my caregiver comes. And then I kind of blew up with everyone, like everyone. I mean, I'm just so tired of bureaucracies of people not listening. No, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't, yeah, I just have had a lot going on. I guess because I learned from other people, like what they've done and what they have, and I just feel more aligned with Carmen and I were like, whatever, that what did I do? I had the deck built, I got the wheelchair, nobody taught me how to use the wheelchair. And in March of last year, wow, that long ago, someone came from the Center for Independent Living to my house, and we just hit it off, and he'd been back like 7 or 8 times just because it's fun, and he taught me how to use the wheelchair. I had that chair for over a year, and I had like 5 or 6 miles on it and didn't ever leave the house with it, and now I have 120 miles.
Awesome.
Oh,
And I went in July, so I started riding around my neighborhood. My neighborhood has a lot of broken cement, and it's not a lot of curb cuts. There are a little more because the squeaky wheel got in touch with the city. Got a few more added around. So, well, we prioritize, what did they call it? Commercial areas. I said, well, then why on Fruitville and MacArthur, which is a big intersection, and a lot of seniors live there, and a lot of people are there with their chairs, and I almost fell because the ramp, the curb cut is broken. Why aren't you fixing that? Why would you tear out a perfectly good curb cut on my corner, tear out the one that's there and add two on each corner, and now they're worse? Like, there's just
did you
like
need any time tonight, Karen, at all?
no, actually, I really meant to just say, oh yeah, I did hear Nate
and I enjoyed Nate. That's the last time I ever logged in, and I did that. But no, I'm just giving you an update that I now, since July, get out and I do real things in my chair and I tool around and
To hear. It's good to hear that you're getting a chair and you know how to use it and made some new
and
friends.
paratransit, and I have
Yeah.
caregiver coming. I have one regular one, then I have another one who came today, and I'm just kind of moving along with, okay, I don't know what I look like. I'm just going to turn on the camera for a minute because people always go, people always comment, you haven't seen me in a while if I look
Oh,
older.
Jen, did you want to share anything before you leave?
No,
Sorry.
that's okay. I just know that I have to get up at 5, so
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's so
like
early.
9:30. But I will be at the afternoon meeting.
That's in 2 weeks on the 24th, 1:30 Eastern time for everyone.
Yes, I will be there. And Nate, I'm going to watch and hear your story. I'm sorry to
Oh,
run out
thank
so
you.
quickly.
It's quite all right.
All right.
you.
But it was good to see you all and see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hi, Jen.
Wow.
Good to see you,
Bye.
Jen.
Bye-bye.
Okay, who would like to go next?
I would.
Carmen wants to go. Take it away.
I'm always too quiet, and then I wait till the end, and then it's like, okay, everyone's exhausted and they want to go home. So,
Go
um,
for it.
I wanted to share the very good news that I got approved for. I think I might have mentioned it. It's called Community Supports Independent Living. So it's a program where you become the employer instead of having home care. Is that my sound or someone else's?
I don't
That was
know.
Anyway,
me.
okay.
Oh,
Instead
and it
of
could be my mic is on.
oh, okay.
Continue,
You know,
Carmen.
guys,
So
You're moving into what, Carmen?
not moving anywhere. I got
wait,
approved.
guys, I gotta go. I keep getting a phone call. I gotta go.
Bye, Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa.
Have a
Bye.
good one. Thank you.
I'm not
I'm
moving
sorry,
anywhere.
you're not moving, you're getting some kind of home assistance.
Yes,
Yeah.
instead of getting home care like through public health where random different people would come in this window or that window, you actually become the employer and you hire your own staff and you get funded to hire your own caretakers. And so I got approved for 225 hours a month, which is
Woo!
huge.
That's
I know.
awesome.
Great.
I know. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with that much time because, like,
Take
that's,
advantage of it.
I know.
Utilize
It's
it.
7.5 hours a day based on like a 30-day month. Anyway, it's just very exciting because I've been hobbling things together with, like, I've got an assistant that comes twice a week for 4 hours each time. And then my friend Joey, who's a former colleague and she's worked in home care and she's just so confident. She's a registered nurse as well. She's been helping me with my showers, which has been so awesome because things have just, like, as I've shared with you guys, like, it's just been kind of on a downhill slide here since October, November-ish. So anyway, it's just such a relief. So I'm in the process of all of that. It's a huge undertaking, of course, because it's, like, you have to have a bookkeeper, you have to have WorkSafe BC, you have to have like Revenue 8, like the Canadian Revenue Canada, like all these things set up. But I've actually got an organization that's going to do all the support, like the bookkeeping and all the background stuff and all the HR and payments. So it's such a relief. So I'll be starting that hopefully by April 1st if everything gets all into place.
Who's paying for it? How does that work?
Instead of home care, like through my government, like governmental
Well, your
health
government,
care.
well, your government pays for home care. Our government doesn't. That's why I'm asking. I mean, Carmen, I'm just in awe, like they will do that. And so it's through like a nonprofit or it's through a government agency. But you said it was called what it was called, but then we couldn't really hear. So, like, I
Well,
don't know, there was a lot of noise.
it's called CECIL, Community Supports Independent Living, CECIL for short, but it is through our, like, just our healthcare system. So instead of being taken care of by home care nurses, the home care money is is sent directly to me so that I hire my own staff and I'm independent. So I'm the employer and I pay whoever I decide to pay. and they can do whatever I tell them to do, whatever we agree on, rather than the limited function of the home care nurses. Like they can
Well,
come in and prepare a light meal, like put cereal together or make toast.
so they're
But
home care workers. They're not nurses. Come on, Carmen, you should know better. So they're not nurses. They're just caregivers or home
what do you mean I
home
should know
care
better?
workers.
What are you saying,
No,
Karen?
you're a nurse because I'm like, it's not, you're not having a nurse come in, you're having caregivers come in, which is,
I can have whoever I want come in. I can hire nurses if I
She's
want.
not,
I can hire whoever.
yeah, Karen, she's not limited. She can hire whoever she wants to come in. It's not just a home care yeah, she can do whatever she wants, which is
Yeah.
amazing. That's like
Mm-hmm.
mind
Yes.
exploding. Mind exploding.
Totally. Totally. Yeah.
So
So
if
it's a
you want
huge,
so
huge
many hours
relief.
of nursing, so many of home care, like, yeah, or that's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah,
You can dictate how you can use those hours.
exactly.
Mind blowing. Mind
well,
blowing.
so would it cover PT and OT also? Is that like all those hours or it's just,
No, that's separate.
okay,
I mean,
that's amazing.
I'm gonna have someone like part of their job description, like I mean, a couple of the priorities are meals and like having food that's easy to heat up or ready to go so that we can get into a better eating pattern just because my husband and I are very late eaters because both of us are tired at the end of the day and we neither of us want to do it. So getting that organized, but also just having someone to help do some of the other stuff so that I actually have energy left so I can start doing some of my exercises and things that I need to do and for them to assist me. So I say there's not OTPT involved, but like parts of it will be my own, like my physical therapist is like giving me some exercises. Well, I can never get to them because I'm too tired because I'm doing other things.
Yeah,
But it's just having the time and the energy to actually focus on things that are important to me rather than just surviving. So anyway,
that's what I'm talking about. Just having like some home care. It's just been amazing for me that I have more energy so I can do something else.
yeah, totally. So anyway, that's my story. That was my update.
Carmen,
Well, you
remind
definitely have to
me.
brag that you live in Canada because we don't have that here.
Thank you for explaining it to us Americans that do not have that ability. But how long did it take you from starting the process to being hopefully by April 1st in 3 weeks to actually start it up and utilize it?
I think I submitted my application. I started everything in November. It's a big application process. Like I had to write a letter of application and gather information, create a backup plan, like kind of have a budget, write up like what my needs were. Then I had to get assessed for how long things take. And, so some days are good days, some days are bad days. You have to kind of put on a show that like, okay, it takes me 20 minutes to get on and off the toilet by myself, even though it doesn't take that long unless it's
Right.
like the end of the day and it's a bad day or whatever. But in order to get the maximum time, you have to, remember that you need to represent your worst day or like whatever you are on your worst day. So all that assessment stuff took some time, and then having the nurse come over and get it all into place, and then like getting the application ready. I was hoping that she would actually submit it for January, but it didn't get submitted until February. And so they just had the meeting at the end of February. I was approved. And so all this stuff is now just sort of starting to, I mean, I'm being overwhelmed with emails and things that I need to do, but in a good way. Like it's all stuff I just need to take care of with my organization that's helping me.
The
So
assessment, was it a one-time thing or do they come back every year?
they will come back if I need, like if I have changes.
Okay.
They basically are hands off now. Like if I have a
Oh, wow.
case manager that like I would call my nurse and say, hey, things have changed. I think I need some more support or whatever. They would come and reassess me, and then she would submit for more hours if I needed. But yeah, so
I mean, the reason I ask is I think I don't know if what I have here is similar or not because I don't know if I'm here, but there's in my county there's a program called in-home support services, and basically they give me so many hours that I can allot to people, and on their paychecks it says that I'm paying them. right?
Oh, okay.
And I have my wife as my caregiver listed because
Ah.
she went through the whole program. And a lot of people do that here that I know, but I don't know if that spreads into other counties throughout California, let alone America.
In-home support, so, I mean, I'm very familiar with that. In-home support
Okay.
services, it used to be, it's still income based, but it used to be like, it was so low income, it was ridiculous. Like you
Oh yeah.
can't have more than $1,000, have an income of more $1,000 a month or 1,200 for a couple or something like that. But they raised it. I don't remember what it is, but recently they raised it. I just know for individuals to like 1,600 or 1,800 a month. So, it does cover that.
Yeah.
And you so-called can only pay them what
Right.
the pay
Well,
is, but you can hire who you want. Like you said, your
right.
family, and that happens a
Well,
lot.
it's a county system, so I'm sure it's different from county to
Well, it's
county. But
federal. No, it's not. It's federal. It's
I
federal
well,
money that comes
but
down to the counties. But I'm very familiar because I've
right.
taught home care, IHSS workers.
Okay.
But
Well,
it's so yes, we do have it here. Okay, we do have it here,
I mean,
but
from my
it's income
experience,
based.
I don't I haven't realized anything about income. What they haven't said anything about that. What they give me is an amount of hours that I can fill out for my caregiver, and she gets like 19, 18 or something an hour, and all caregivers do. And she doesn't have to just be my caregiver. She can be a multiple people's caregivers
Yeah.
as long as
But
they
how
bill
many
those hours
hours?
to her.
So how many
It,
hours have they allotted you?
not many, right? Like
So
because
okay.
I don't need it that badly personally. Other
Uh-huh.
people need it more than me.
So,
And so
so
my assessment, and if I hammed it up a little bit, but I'm a terrible liar, right? So I can't do it that well, but I definitely, did not embellish too badly. And I think they gave me like she ends up bringing in like $400 a month. Nothing crazy, but it's because
so
it's a small amount of hours as opposed because it's like she's getting like 19, 18 or something an hour. I know that.
Yeah.
how many of us have a brain to actually do that math? Even
Yeah,
like to
that's what
do 20 into 400. It's like,
I was
how
trying to
would
do it
that
since
be?
you asked.
I'm
I
like
can't.
20. I said, okay, let's
About
round it to
21,
20
about 21 hours or
a
so.
month.
That sounds about right. A
Yeah,
Yeah, a
month,
20.
yeah.
month.
So
So
very
like 5
21
hours a week.
hours
Not,
versus
Yeah.
225.
but
Very
that's
different.
what
But
I need.
yeah,
That's
but what
just
Carmen and
me.
Nate are, they're different places of what their needs
I
are.
can get in and out of the bathtub. I can move around. My feet are jacked. I can't stand for longer than 15 seconds without cortisone shots. And
Wow.
but yeah, I get the brain fog and I forget to take my medicine. And that's mainly why she's employed. That we needed
Carmen,
the extra money. It was great. Worked out.
That's
Carmen, I'm
awesome.
very
They
excited for you to have this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very
Yeah, that's what I was
excited
asking
for you
about.
to
That's awesome.
have that. That's
You got it way
I'm not
better
gonna
than me.
lie. I don't think Nate and I are gonna lie. We're jealous, but
I know.
still,
Yeah,
like, awesome that it's happening to you.
So
totally.
excited. I'm excited to hear updates and how it's going. And I love the fact that you can determine because you worked in as a nurse, so you have like a good idea of like what you need and how much you need.
Yeah.
Like and the fact that you can determine that is just like so awesome. Like, let me use my
Yeah,
skills. Can I use my skills, please? You know?
exactly. Like I have to give up so much of my autonomy with this disease, but at least
Oh,
I can still keep some of my own self-control and who's coming into my home and what they're doing and what my expectations or our expectations are. So at least that preserves a little bit of my sanity.
Mhm.
And I do feel very lucky. And I'm as I share it, I know that it's kind of like rubbing salt in wounds because you guys don't all maybe
We
have
are
this.
super excited for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yes,
how
we
It's
I
are.
feel.
so
yeah,
thrilling to
for
hear
sure.
someone getting the care they need. It like
hmm
hands
Yes.
down, and never feel ashamed to explain your situation.
yeah.
Never, no, that's not.
I
I
find
am
it
Empathy that
inspiring.
I have.
excited.
So
Yeah.
And see if we were to annex Canada, you'd lose that.
oh geez,
We're not talking politics. We are
Yeah.
not going in there, but
Politics, religion.
yeah,
yeah.
but
Well,
we will bridge to if we're done, we're gonna go hang out with Nate to hear his story and whatever he
Yeah.
wants to talk about because he's waited
um,
very
Cool.
but
patiently.
Huh?
But I did hear that we are selling Minnesota to Canada, and they're going to rename it Canasota. Live with it.
Minnesota would probably be okay going to Canada, honestly. I think the Minnesotans would be on board, at least the Northerners. I think they would be like,
A can
cool.
a
Yeah,
can of
at this
soda.
point.
Okay.
But,
There are
uh,
worse things
Anyway,
out there.
yeah, I'm Nate. Where to begin? Well, first off, I find all y'all inspiring. I really do, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. And individual reasons as well. But so I grew up in Pittsburgh and in the 90s. Well, I was born in 79, so I was a kid in the 80s, teenager through the 90s.
you know you got two of us in the group right now,
All
same
right,
birth year,
so
right?
some exennials. Right,
Zennial baby all the way,
exennials,
John and
yeah.
I.
We're
And
we're very
if
rare.
if Big Red, the other Jen was here, she's also
Nice.
well 79ers were
Yeah.
were good. Okay, sorry. Go
But
ahead.
no, it's all good. It's all good. So my dad was a professional musician. He was a finger picker, right? He taught, he played, he had no other job my whole life and raised three boys doing it. Because you could do that in the 70s and 80s and 90s. But yeah, he did well. And my mom, she did real estate for a little while, but then she kind of went unemployed. She had a back issue, and I think it was pills. She got really into pills, and she started writing books about the JFK assassination. And it conspiracy theorist kind of craziness. And well, I'm going through all this because she died in 2019, and that causes some other issues, but got to back up a little bit as well. Because when my symptoms started, when I started noticing things that were going on with me that weren't going on with anybody else, I just got diagnosed 2024. Last August 2nd, 2024 is my official diagnosis. But anyway, I'll get back to that as well, because I'm trying to keep it non-pulp fiction here. But anyway, so I came up, I was doing music. I started playing professionally when I was 13. Picked up bass. Uh, it was the family trade. My brother is a rather well-known musician too. He's in a band called Don Caballero. He's toured the world multiple times in this band. And his introduction was through punk. So I started through punk. Next thing I know, I'm 10 years in a fusion soul rockabilly country / blues band, right? We have a horn section, and it's killer, right? I'm loving it, but we have a business falling out because I'm trying to go further, and we did everything we could do in Pittsburgh, right? We did everything we could do, and I'm like, we got to do more, and they were just like, well. Anyway, I ended up in California trying to make it on my own, and then so I'm in the heat a lot because I live in the desert, right? So when I started noticing things, my neurologist thinks my symptoms really started in 2002 based on things I was just describing with which was going on with me. But of course, I had no idea. How do I know what getting old is supposed to feel like? You know? How do I know what anybody else feels like with me? Right? So anyway, I'm pushing through. In music, what ends up happening, I play bass. I'm playing the circuits out here, but I'll shake. Right? Look, this hand, if I turn a certain way, see that? Well, that makes me fall off time, and that just simply cannot happen. That's no go. So I started thinking, oh, it must be me, and making excuses because I don't know what the hell's going on with me, but something's wrong. But I fall back, and I end up with a rather successful career in selling appliances, right? Uh, I got a job in 2017 selling at Sears, right? Right? You might see where that's going, but anyway, I was actually really good at it because it turns out my whole life of hustling tickets and hustling records and hustling music, it turns out when you take those same skills and point it towards something somebody actually needs, I was pretty good at it, right? It's called and commission sales. I was doing good. Anyway, Sears was closing. I was sweating bullets for about a couple weeks when I got headhunted by another company. But in that process, my mom died. My dad had died in 2006. Um, and in 2006, my best friend since I was 5 also passed away. We were the same age. Anyway, that took me 5 years to get around. Right? I was in a fog. I was a sheep. I couldn't have a conversation like this. I was just going through the motions, right? For 5 years. And then when my mom dies, I bottle it because I know I got a 10-year-old. I got kids graduating both high school and college. Well, he wasn't 10 at the time. Christ, he's 10 now. Anyway, I got a little one as well, and I know I got so much to do. I got a career going, so I just soldiered up. Just put a cork in it. I'll handle it later. Um, so then the Sears thing comes around, right? And anyway, I'm there sweating bullets, like holy shit, what am I going to do for like a month there, month or two? And I got headhunted by another company that was a local company, right? They found me. I didn't find them. They came and got me. I started working for them, and I'm really nervous, but that turned out to be the best job I ever had. It was during the pandemic. A lot of people, I feel so bad because the pandemic was so bad for so many people, but I had a fantastic pandemic. I made so much money,
What did you
right? During
do?
the
Did you sell appliances or something?
Yeah,
Okay, so
appliances. And
for the local company. Okay.
yeah, but here's the thing. Um, we were deemed an essential business because we also did repairs, but freezers, right? So,
Yeah, those are a hit.
right.
The deep
Well,
freezers.
so that was the thing. During the pandemic, people bought all this meat and all this stuff to, even cows. People bought a whole cow, right, to stockpile, but they had nowhere to put it. So they were buying extra freezers, and they all sold out so quickly. Well, with us, say a company like GE, right? They say, they were on pandemic too, so they couldn't make very many. And they say, well, we only made like 86 freezers. A company like Home Depot or Lowe's, they're like, that's not even going to serve one of our stores in the district, so we'll pass. Us, we were like, we'll take all of them. We had called the farthest away. I personally responded to somebody looking for a freezer was Puerto Rico, right? The farthest away in the store, somebody found somebody trying to buy a freezer from us was Morocco because it was a worldwide thing. And we had freezers, we were killing it. People were looking for something to do. People were stuck at home and thinking, like, man, I really don't like this washer and dryer. So they came to us. We also did furniture and televisions. And anyway, yeah, made a lot of money during the pandemic. But as a result, I got COVID 4 times, right? Um, the first time I didn't even really notice. I had a fever and I just got over it, like no big deal. But they wouldn't let me work until I, came back with a negative test. Then the second time, I noticed it, right, and it put me down for like a week and week and a half maybe, and I was like down, right. Um, I think the third and fourth time is what really got me noticing. Like the third time is what got me noticing symptoms because blind spots, right? I know it's very, very common. Mine were white. Like I'm looking at a phone and a paragraph, I'm reading something and one of the words was just missing. I tilt my head, it comes back, right? It has nothing to do with one eye or the other. It's the same. uh Optometrist tells me ocular migraine, so I'm like, okay, cool, ocular migraines, let's go, right. um and then when they came back and lasted like more than like a couple of hours, like a week, 2 weeks straight, I was like, okay, I go to the doctor, she thinks I'm crazy, go to the ophthalmologist, she thinks I'm on drugs, right. Go finally see a neuro ophthalmologist on leap day, right? Leap day 2024. And he ultimately, testing before that and come leap day 2024, he tells me he thinks it could be MS, but he can't diagnose it. I have to go to a neurologist, right? And I'm there like, oh, like doing the, well, are you sure kind of thing, and he's like, well, I can't diagnose it, And anyway, I walk out like, oh, whatever, we're going to talk to neuro, right? And as soon as I saw my wife, it like I got cold. I knew that doctor knew exactly what the fuck he was talking about. And I knew that I'd have to tell her. And she sees me like shaking. She was like, oh, what the doctor say? And I couldn't really tell her. And she's like, kind of like, no, you're scaring me. You're scaring me. And I said it quivering, and I kind of felt her go into her own thing right there. And I kind of like felt her pull away, but I knew she wasn't. She said, you got to call your brother so he's not surprised later on. All this stuff. And so I didn't get to see that neurologist until August of that year, right? Of 2024. So there's that tense
6 months.
tense. Yeah, like 6 to 8 months there. And my wife's going through it too, because we don't know. It could be all in my head. I could be tripping, right? Um, and I got officially diagnosed. She was in there. There was stuff the doctors did to trip me out, because when they were doing the tests of like the pushing thing, she got to my knees right here, and it was like so easy with one finger to push my leg down. Like, do that again, like it's a contest, Like, what the hell, right? And I, the day after that, 2 days, 2 or 3 days after that, my wife and I got in the biggest fight we've ever been in. It's like ever. And I think it really came down to miscommunication, ultimately. But the year after that, I was in just a hole. I was, I was didn't know what was up from down. I didn't know what was symptoms, what wasn't symptoms, and I know I'm a lot better off than a lot of other people in the situation. I know this, and I feel guilty about that sometimes. I know, but I'm getting to that, because honestly, like I said, I find it inspiring. Uh, and there, anyway, at the same time, I had all of my mom's old VHS videos and Polaroids from vacations that needed scanned for my nieces and nephews and my kids and everything. And I was the one that knew how to do it, so I had been sitting on them since 2019, saying I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, now I got time, clearly. So I started doing it, and that started, just like I said, pulling everything out of that bottle, as well as, going over the careers. Oh, the best job I had. Anyway, had a great pandemic, and we were making a killing, and the owner, who I consider like a father to this day, great guy, he sold the company. And it was a smart business decision. It really was at the time he did it, in hindsight in particular, but it still hurt so bad. And the company he sold it to promoted me twice and then fired me. Right? And it turns out their whole plan, they were an ESOP, right? So that they had it was employee owned, and the longer you were there, the more you invested in, the more stock you had. And the new CEO got paid only in stock. Like, I'm only going to take stock. You don't have to pay me a balance. But what it was, we were in a bubble. He was planning on cashing out at the top of the bubble, which they all did. And that company is now bankrupt. But anyway, I felt like a failure from losing these multiple careers, when meanwhile, none of it was my fault. I was set up at the Howard's place because upper management knew that I was catching on to the bullshit, right? Right. I had figured out that Dawn, the owner, was selling to them like long before anybody else did, like long before any announcement. I just caught on. But anyway, that's not a flex or anything. That's just how it was. But people I worked with then thought it was a flex. And then there was all kinds of things that were happening then. Like people would come up to my desk. I was a manager at the time, and I'm in the middle of something on the computer, right? And they'd say, "Hey, Nate, could you do this for me?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," because what happened is it would be like a static shock goes off. I can point to exactly where it goes off, right? Like that's where it goes off. If I'm concentrating on something and somebody comes in and interrupts me, I'm not mad, but the way I'm talking to them seems like I'm really pissed off at them for bugging me. And
There
it was
is an
never that.
actual term for that. Was it something syndrome?
I want to say it's Lamette sign, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I would love to know that. If I could
It's
put a
something
finger
that
on it.
like, oh yeah, I've totally heard of that, and I have that.
Yeah, but yeah, that was one that really messed with my career in that regard in particular. But my wife and I, it seemed like there was a distance for me this whole time, and I'm unpacking all these other emotions, and that can't be attractive, right? And on top of other things, and like that's and like I said, just emotionally unpacking, as well as all the close people to me that passed away. I've lost count of people I grew up with, family members, people that died, all kinds of reasons too. You name it, fucking yeah. And I'm just unpacking all of this at the same time. And I started. I didn't have anywhere to like other people that would listen to my story either, because like I said, like we've noticed, like my friends, they don't know how to handle it. It's kind of like when I first started having kids before anybody else. Like it was like, people are like, oh, he's got a kid now. We can't really call him to hang out, and we used to, And it's kind of like that now. They think I'm fragile, like Lermit's son. Oh, okay. I definitely get the electric jolts, like my entire limb will fly off, like with those. But anyway, um, but yeah, spasticity, big deal. Uh, and where
Nate,
was
Nate, can I ask you?
Yeah.
I don't think I heard what I don't think I heard like when you said what year were you diagnosed and what did they call it?
Oh, it went straight to MS. They
No, but I
diagnosed
mean, but there's they put all these categories and they keep changing them
Oh,
around.
RRMS. It was
Oh,
relapsing
okay.
remitting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then and then when was that again? You said?
Was it so there was 2 dates. August 2nd, 2024.
Oh, 2024. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind
Not
of
that
got
long.
lost because no, that you got the diagnosis because I got diagnosed in 2019, and yeah, and I'm a geriatric. But I did know I was familiar with aging, and so I did just what you did. I would just go, "Oh, I'm just getting older. I tripped. It's this. It's that. It's that." Yeah, and it is tricky when you have that. And I can totally relate because I remember when I got diagnosed, I just thought, "Wow, so that's what it is. That's
Yeah.
why I've been having all
Well,
these
I'm sure
symptoms."
all you can relate. That's what I'm finding out in these past couple things here. And like I was saying, inspiring. I'm inspired. And I'm gonna get to how that has affected me soon. But let's see. So I was unbottling, like, my mom, everything that's going on, how I'm really on my own at this point. I got 2 older brothers back in Pittsburgh, um, and they care as much as they can. My oh man, my brother that's 18 months older than me, he doesn't express his feelings. It's a blue collar city, you don't talk about shit like that. You don't, but he moved into a new house. He had just bought it with his wife, super happy, and I'm going through all this at the same time. And he gets really into gardening out of the blue. And he's doing that real well. But then he got into aquariums. He has a whole room of his house with like 10 aquariums of different sizes, of different fish and different like hundreds of fish he has now. And it didn't dawn on me till later that he's controlling their whole environment. He's protecting their everything. That's me. He's doing it for me. Oh. But I think it's fucking beautiful. But anyway, I'm getting all this out of my chest. I'm getting all this out of my head as best as I can. And this is emotional and everything. And
Let it
while
rip.
I'm going through
Let it
all
rip,
this,
Nate. Let it rip.
huh?
We're here for you. We're
I
here for
know,
you.
I know,
Let it
I
rip.
know. I didn't have anybody to talk to or anything, but what I was doing is there are these sites, Azar and Omegle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but they're just video chats that go straight to stranger to stranger to stranger. And granted, there's a lot of pedophiles on there, right? But I heard about it from watching YouTube videos of people like finding people, because there's a lot of kids on there too. But anyway, there's also a lot of adults. You can do the settings, and I wasn't into that. I was just finding random strangers that didn't know who the was. I'd never see them again. And there's a kind of peace in being able to just, and an honesty with a total stranger that you will never ever see again. But I'm sad that John left, because he was a huge inspiration. I wanted to let him know. I hope he watches the VOD. But when I get to that part, um, but I'm letting it all out. My wife, she's juggling everything. She's you know taking care of two roles now. She's while I'm going through all this thing, I end up at one point I crashed out so bad that I ended up just taking off, taking all my medicines, and just walk. I'm thinking like I'm gonna be a new person. Fuck it, I'll forget any of this bullshit. I ended up walking like 10 miles before the ambulance got me, and ended up in the hospital. And when she came, there I saw a glimpse of, because she had stonewalled up. She soldiered up as well. She's emotionally avoidant. That's who she is. There's nothing wrong with it. Um, I love her to death, of course. It's just how she manages, and I respect that. But it took me a while to get her out of that too. Um, but anyway, I'm taking up. I'm falling apart. What I'm really also doing at the same time is I'm breaking down to the studs. I'm figuring out what is supposed to feel like this, what isn't, what does come and go, what doesn't, what is constant, where everything is, what do research into what normal is supposed to feel like, because I never even considered that before. And through all that, and then I started coming in here, and I'm on a Facebook group now too, and I see that a lot of people are a lot worse off than me. I can still walk. I am still married. I I I I still have a lot of functions. So when I first got diagnosed in 2014, I was 260 pounds. I'm down to 190 now. I didn't even try to lose that first 50, 55 pounds. When I got down to the first 60 pounds, when I got down to 200, I don't know what happened. I think I was just eating the stress. I was eating less portions. I don't know what the hell. It just went off naturally. I didn't even try. Now this last 10, 15, I'm trying because I can, because it started from a bad spot. But I don't know if you noticed, but I'm growing my hair kind of long, right? Well, my father-in-law, my late father-in-law, he just passed away in September. That's something else that's going on. But he lived with us. I lived with him for the last 13 years. Loved the guy to death. He was a biker dude. Um, he 70s biker, wild, born to be wild kind of dude, had loved long hair but went bald, right? But he grew it all out here as much as he could, and then wore a bandana so it looked like he still had hair because it was like that. So I started growing my hair long just to fuck with him, really, right? just, just so I could be like, yeah, look, I can't do it. But I realized, you know what, you can't. So I'm growing. I don't like my hair long. But I was doing it for him because he couldn't, and it's kind of like, and I don't wear hats either because if he, well, I have a lot of brothers out there that cannot grow a hair like this at my age. And so because I can, I do. And if other guys I know could, they wouldn't wear hats. They would flaunt it. So I don't. I do it best I can. Anyway, because I can still walk, I do. I walk at least a mile, probably two a day now. Today I did 3. Yesterday I did 4. And I'm stepping it up. I'm doing more, and that's walking. I'm trying to get up to running. I've never worked out in my life. I've never been into fitness before, but at the same time, I'm looking for a long-term project, because it's kind of a ADHD thing, I guess, too. I was never diagnosed that, but it makes sense. Um, I needed a project, and this is a good one. Also, I'm sure if I keep in better shape now as time goes on, it won't affect me as badly in certain areas and certain muscle. If I can build up a better physique before it gets too bad, it won't get as bad as it could. At least that's the way I'm thinking of it. Now, symptoms, I'm still getting the fatigue. I'm still getting the spasm. Oh man, between October and January, I had very, very bad spasms. Um, I got enough medications, but I know where they are. I know where the barometer is now, or at least I got a good idea of it. I also got a good idea of where the fatigue is and where the head thing in the heat, where it starts, I don't know if that's an everybody thing, but, where that starts, where that threshold is. So I'm learning all of that, and I'm relearning, rebuilding, reclaiming. That's phase 2. First phase, I'm thinking, was emotional, right? I think I'm through with that. This is the physical stage. I'm getting in better shape. I'm watching what I eat for the first time in my life. And to tell you the truth, I got these apps to do it with that. I'm super nerdy and analytical, so it's kind of fun at the same time, right? But I'm trying to do all that as well as, and then phase 3 is social. I have to get back in the world. Um, and where John really inspired me is with everything he's going through with his wife, and that whole relationship and how that is my worst fear, and I never ever want to see that happen. So I'm thinking about the situation differently. There, like I said, there's that distance there, and it can grow if we don't do something about it. And I don't want to sit idly by. I don't want to put everything on her. And what I end up doing is trying to see it from her perspective and then thinking, what if this was happening to her and not me? How would I handle that? And that might crush me more than it's crushing me be going through it. Now, granted, I'm saying that from perspective from knowing what I feel, and I wouldn't know what that feels. But I mean, I'd like to think, like, and I'm sure she can see that, it's hurts. I've been hurting. I know why I hurt. I hurt a lot, I also think she sees me coming back from it now. Um, it's a slow process. It's not an overnight thing. I got to work at it. It's a long term project, and I'm in it. You know, I'm in it. Let's do it. But she, like I said, she's emotionally void. She's not talkative. She's doesn't. She's quiet. She always has been. And when things like this come up, I always called it wall. She would get behind the wall. Um, I usually had a key to that wall, but this time it was different. And I get it. I think I get it. I think I get it. That's what, you know, I think I'm ready to hear her, which I wasn't until, well, listening to John really, and what he's going through, if I'm being honest. Because I started thinking, and honestly, if he hears this, I don't know how this is, this would land with him. And I was scared to say, because it could go one of either ways, either go like, oh, you know, good for him kind of deal. But the other thing is, it really did inspire me. I'm trying, I'm upping my game as a result. I'm pushing forward. I need to hear these things. And the fitness thing, like I said, there was a lot of people in the Facebook group in particular. They're talking about what they're going through, like even more so. And there's a lot talking about relationship issues and like the loss of autonomy, the blind spots in my vision. One time, I'm on my way to a job interview actually, after I got fired, and I'm in an intersection, and it's a four-way intersection. There's crosswalks, and in the crosswalk across from me, somebody just magically appeared in the middle of the crosswalk to cross the street. And since I don't believe in interdimensional beings, I have not driven ever since, because I don't know when they're going to come. I don't know when they're going to go. So it's just not worth it. And that is a huge loss of autonomy. I live in a sprawling desert. The closest store to do anything is a mile and a half away. But I know I can walk 3 miles now, so that's cool. um, but yeah, I'm waiting on disability. I kind of lucked out with that, because my dad, being a guitar teacher, had a student that ended up becoming like family to us. Like, his name's Carl, such a great dude. Um, he 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 was always really good. He bought my dad like a really nice guitar and a banjo at one point, like a super nice banjo. And anyway, he's a great dude. I didn't know until all of this that he was a disability attorney. Not only was he a disability attorney, he has his own firm, right? Um, and so he's just like, no, I got you handled. Don't even sweat it. We this is what we do. And I wasn't trying to call him about it, when I found out, because at that time his son had just committed suicide, and that was his second son to have committed suicide. So yeah, if I was going to talk to him about anything, it was going to be about that and tell him how. But he was saying, look, best thing I can do right now is help other people. So, yeah, it's a lot happened in a short amount of time. Just go with that. And, so then, like I said, I'm working through all this, and it's a long road still. And I'm I want to get back on the stage. I don't know if I ever will. Um, Maybe not guitar. Um, Maybe I'll pick up piano. I got time. Always wanted to learn piano. Um, might be able to do that better, or not. My coordination might be totally off. I have no idea. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I've also been seeing a lot of doctors, for a lot of different things. Not just the eyes and the MS and the neurology, but I got my feet taken care of now. I got a dermatologist. I got a list of doctors, like I'm sure you all know. But I got a team now. And yeah, I'm waiting on disability, but she just put it in a dire need. I got denied once, and it's in appeals, and that's where my guy is. He handles the appeal section for his firm, and She sent in a dire needs letter and asked for more medical stuff. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get approved like very, very soon. I'm not, I haven't been stressing about it because I know, just like everything else going on in the world, no matter how much I stress about it, no matter how much I yell about it, no matter how much I cry about it, no matter how much it gets to me, it's not going to change the outcome at all. It's not going to do anything. So I might as well just calm the fuck down. Right. And it's harder to think about this situation like this. Because I do think there's things I can do. But yeah, I'm gonna try them. I'm gonna do it. We'll see where we're at. And that's a nutshell of it. I'm sure I can go into further detail because I'm a long-winded dude who sold appliances for the longest damn time.
Wow, Nate. I just want to thank you for sharing. It's really been quite a pleasure actually just to hear your story. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I've been sort of curious about what is your story. So I appreciate that you've been able to kind of share some of your experiences.
I'm absolutely an open book about everything. If I come into a group like this, I want to observe and hear everybody else first.
I want to tell you something. John and I were just having a little private chat about something before he left, and he sent me a message and said, "I want to party with Nate." Seriously. So just so you know, that's what he thinks about you. So
I hear. I'd like to get together with him on the side because I mean, chances are we both need somebody to talk to more about this.
Yeah. Anyway, I just
more
wanted
length
to
than
share that
twice
with
a
you.
month.
Yeah.
I think Nate's gonna be figuring out how to do that conference, so we all can.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I have
together.
I don't know if I have the wherewithal at this point in my life.
Well, that's where we all just work together and do little
Yeah.
parts, and we just, you have to do what you can and realize there's certain
Right.
I think one of the hard things with MS is like a general trend of people that have MS tend to be like big go-getters, and we have a hard time turning that off.
I have a theory about that. And I was thinking about this because I mean the commission sales are high paced, energy, quick. You got a lot of different knowledges, different things. Not only do I know all these, I can't cook I just started recently learning how to cook. Right, I've never done my own laundry, right, anything like that. But I can tell you all about laundry machines and stoves and everything, microwaves, all the functions and everything. So not only do I know that knowledge, I had to keep track of orders and customers and who people were. So you got to keep track of a lot as well. It's high functioning. My theory being, since before diagnosis, I was going through all that. I was going through the whole stress and it was building up. So I figured, well, I might as well force as much of it on as possible. So it just always feels like that. Does that make sense? Or I lean into the skid rather than trying to get out of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't always feeling like that, but the times it was like that, just all right, push with it. And this must be what it is. Or it's an excuse. Does that make sense?
What were you gonna say, Rick? You raised your hand.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what I was going to say that we love when people make connections outside of the group. When we surveyed all of AnCan in 2024, we found out that somewhere around 45 to 50% of people connect outside of the group. And so they have friends, permanent friends that they've made through coming to these AnCan groups. And in that spirit, I am going to send a message to Nate and John afterwards with your emails in there so that you guys can connect.
You could give them my phone number if you want.
If I have your phone number, I give it to you.
Put it in the chat.
I
Don't
think
say
I have your phone number.
Yeah,
I don't know even if I have
none
John.
None of you guys are gonna send me weird pictures and text.
No, but put it in the chat. Don't say it. I don't want it
I'm
on YouTube.
And I will connect you.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
No, I was
Great.
just gonna say I'll connect you because you guys are two peas in a pod, and in the long run, you'll stay two peas in a pod. I can see that Nate is somebody who makes friends and keeps friends for a long time, and I think
I
that
try.
that is huge. Thank
Anyway,
you.
good night,
Bye,
guys.
guys. It's 10:30 at night. So,
Yes.
Oh, have a
You're
good
doing
night.
awesome with the time change, Andrea. Like, kudos to you. Like,
Mhm.
wow, impressive. I'll let you
Do you-
guys go, and anyone who wants to stay out later. But thank you guys, everyone, for being here tonight. I know we had lost a little bit of Pincho, but you guys just rock, and I love you so much. And you just
yeah. Can I just check with Andrea? Did you have anything else you wanted to say, Miss Andrea?
I mean, just around National MS Awareness Month, and I'm really excited that my radio station is going to be able to air some National MS Society uh, plugs throughout the month. So I'm very excited about that. Um, and then just sort of like, I don't know, like I don't know, like the norovirus or something, and it knocked me down for like 3 weeks. And I feel like every time I feel like I'm starting to get over something and make progress, it's like I get kicked back again. It's like one step forward and three steps back. And, sometimes it gets really hard to maintain that optimism and that drive that y'all were just talking about. Like I used to run 5 miles every day just because I wanted to, just because I could. And now I'm like, you know, 500 yards, and I'm like, that's kind of far.
Don't get me wrong. I know I'm not going to be able to do this forever. And that's exactly why I'm doing it now.
because you'd
And I live,
rather remember walking on the beach than going, wow, I wish I walked on the beach.
yeah.
Mhm. Makes sense. Well, anyone that needs
And
to
I live,
go, please leave. Don't feel like you need to stay.
yeah.
I'd love to chat with Nate more if
Yeah.
you want to stay on, if
I
you're
got nothing
available.
but time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
feel free to. I don't want to keep anyone super late and tired, but thank you all for joining, and hope you see you in 2 weeks on the 24th, 1:30 p.m. Eastern
Yes.
time. So
Great group. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. I'm leaving you in charge, Miss Kim.
all right. Scary thought. Woo!
So, I mean, I guess that's really it. Like I wanted to just kind of make some applause and then bitch about some things too, and that's really it. But, it really is 10:30 and I'm pretty much exhausted.
Bring
So,
it, bring it for the afternoon session when we're not dragging and needing to get our butts to bed after a time change.
I know, but I have pottery on Tuesdays now, so
Reach out to us
I
in
can't,
between if you need to.
huh?
Reach
Oh,
out
in
in between if
between.
you need us anytime.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful night.
Okay.
Yep,
Bye,
you too.
Andrea.
Thank you.
I forgot, what time does it see? I thought you started at 5 and then I came in at like 6:10 or something, and then I'm like, why are people still doing introductions? Like, when
No,
did you start? But I got it now.
we
I was late.
start 8:30 Eastern time.
Okay. So I had the timing up. Well, this is interesting because I really didn't, I don't know. I trust my instincts. I don't know where I got the inner call for things. I mean, there's just been too many things that have been happening that can't be coincidences, and I really didn't want to be on the, I'm putting food away, I'm dusting, I'm doing I'm doing things. It's like, oh, well, I'm not, because I do remember hearing Nate. And I think my friend who listened in, she goes, oh, I like that guy, that new guy. He seems cool. But
I
sometimes
try.
she'll go, did you hear what happened with Kim? Did you hear? But it's funny. I mean,
Yeah,
and
last time I was in a funk last group. I feel bad. I'm like, God, I hope I didn't come off as like a super bitch because I was just having a rough I was having a rough go, guys, last time.
well, I don't think I listened.
I apologize for coming. I'm like, God, was I like a raging bitch or something? I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to be, but man, I was having an off night. I was having an off day. Off day.
See, I don't even apologize for those things, but I did want to apologize because I don't know when I'll come back on with Kim. No,
Oh.
not Kim. You're Kim with Carmen.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
With Carmen, because I taught home health aides. I taught in-home support services. I deeply know about the service. I know there's been some changes, but I worked in elder care in the 90s and 2000. I mean, I only have like a 35-year relationship with in-home support, including, being hired from the union and getting special contracts to teach. And so the very first lesson I teach everyone is, what are you called? You're not a nurse's aide. You're not a nurse. You're not doing anything medical. It's just a caregiver, a home care worker. You're not even a home health care worker because you don't have to have, you can be anyone. You can be a neighbor. You can be like, your wife. Okay, I'll put the camera on, even though, let's see. I just needed some time. I got a new tablet. The truth is, I've had it for a while, but I think I wanted to know, well, does the GoTo app work here? It was more just like, let's see, do I have it? Do I have it? Can I log in? But I don't think it's a coincidence, that I happened to log in today, and I'm usually chatty and I didn't. I think, Nate, your story and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's
Thank
amazing.
you.
I mean, that you just like have come this far in this short amount of time. It's just amazing to me because
I think a
I
lot.
didn't,
I'm an overthinker.
and I don't,
That
yeah, well, I
could
mean,
be
but
to your advantage or
Yeah.
but I
disadvantage. We
didn't
all have our
know,
strengths and weaknesses.
I didn't know people with MS, and I got diagnosed in 2019. I guess we had similar symptoms. And so I was still, walking, and I just knew something was wrong with me for a while. And that took a while, but I'm surprised. I'll be 75 this year. And then I always
Lord
go,
knows.
and then I go, I know, when you're as good looking as me, you just can't help it. Yeah.
I hope you're
And then I
75.
have this really cool wheelchair. It's a really cool, it's power wheelchair. And I had a good COVID time too. I haven't gotten COVID. I'm a Novid, but I had a good time because I got diagnosed in January 2019, and by November, I was thinking, how long can I? And I would go out and play music a lot, and that's like really, music was really my 2, 3 times a week. I volunteered at a music venue. I took a class in Spanish love song because I always wanted to do that. So that first year, I just kept it queued up in the car, and I would just be toda una vida. It also helped my Spanish comprehension, which I thought would be great because might need caregivers and workers like that. But yeah, and then I go to music jams, and I go to music camp, and I'm sort of was late into music, but um, I can't play anymore. My right hand's paralyzed.
Oh,
I can't play anymore.
I
But I have real
feel
good.
that. Oh,
I have good, but I have good pipes. Don't feel bad. I have
I
good
don't.
pipes. I have really good pipes, and so I can sing. I can sing, and I don't remember a lot of the songs I know. So I don't know if you all have seen this. It's from the MS Foundation, but I think this picture is amazing. It's about your brain. Wait, let's see.
Yeah, you got it on there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
feels
how do
very old school. I feel
I
that
think
the
I've
I mean,
seen
very
that
old
before.
school.
maybe you got a magazine from MS Foundation, but it's like, to me, I've been meaning to take it to my doctors. It's like, and if you notice, there aren't cell phones in there aren't tablets, there aren't computers. Maybe there's a little phone. It's like just the cognition, that people just don't get it. The only people who get it are, I do go to the MS Foundation art class, and we all sit around and chat, and even though we make art, but I found out, like, we're all zombies. We all have circadian rhythm disorder. You just don't want to tell anybody. I didn't go to sleep till 6 or 7. It's not
Oh,
insomnia. It's just like I fall asleep on the
that's a
couch and then I
thing.
wake up.
That's real. I thought it was just me.
You're talking
See what I mean?
Look,
Are you
So
not
when
going
that's
to
what I'm.
sleep till
when you were
6,
talking about the time change the
7
other night,
a.m. in the morning? What time are you going to bed, Karen? Let's
No,
rephrase
it's
it.
not. I go to bed. I fall asleep on the couch, and I used to be a professional sleeper. It just like sleep was. I was on a green tortoise bus trip. I went to Mexico. I went all around, and I'm on the back, like right behind the driver, and the bus is going like this, and there's music playing, and someone said, I was watching you all night long. And I thought, well, why would you do that? That's silly. You slept. It's really hard when the bus is going like this, where everybody else is laying this way. And I'm
I
like,
can do it.
well, of course I'm going to sleep. I mean, what else? So I've never had problems sleeping other than menopause, and that's okay. It didn't last that long. But I don't feel like I
Your
have a.
your sleeping got better after you hit menopause?
No, I've been a professional sleeper my entire life. That
Okay.
was the only time, for like, I don't know, 18 months or so, I was just like, I can't sleep. I can see why people go crazy from lack of sleep. It was just this and anxiety. And I'd go, Karen, what's wrong? And it's like, oh, I don't know. I just can't take it. Then I started taking like flower remedy, like mother of wart. Like, it was, oh, you're just going through menopause. But other than that, so I don't even feel like I have a sleep disturbance. And I mentioned it to the neurologist. I have a neurologist and a PA who works with a neurologist. So every other year I see one or the other, which is great because they're both awesome, and they're just awesome. And I have a neuro nurse, so they're just both. All three of them are awesome, and they all bring whatever they bring. Whatever talents they have. I better get water. So
Yeah, because
I
with
said,
that,
I fall asleep on the couch. I often just, I was a night owl. I'd go to sleep 1, 2 in the morning. I've always been a night owl. And then I fall asleep on the couch. Like, I don't know, I'll watch the news or what, and I fall asleep, and then I sleep, and then I like this, and then I wake up and I go, oh, I should go to bed. Okay, let me go and do this. Let me do that. And then, and then all I know is 5 or 6 in the morning. And then I'll sleep. I don't usually have something else to do. I'm walking with a walker, by the way. I usually don't have something else that, I try. Well, today the caregiver came, so I'm a little loopy because I didn't sleep enough. But I also know I don't have to do anything tomorrow. I can just, but so 5 women. I don't know who started it. 5 women, and everybody, it's the same thing. You feel embarrassed. Is that your story, Nate? That you also have,
Hmm?
that you're up
What?
at weird hours, or
Oh, I'm lucky to get 4 hours every night. And in fact, just earlier, when you were talking about the time change, I thought I was, because the other day, it was wake up Monday. I'm like, whoa, cool! I got 5 hours of sleep. No, I didn't. Right?
no, I
well,
had
I
I
have.
thought I got 6 hours, but I actually got 5.
no, I
Um,
started having issues with sleep with MS, and then when perimenopause hit, it's like, what
No, that
okay.
yeah,
what sleep?
yeah.
And I had to start taking medication 2 years ago so I could fall asleep. And I went through a variety and had lots of side effects. And I actually will go to Mayo Clinic next week because when I was up there to see neurology, they're like, is anything gonna help? I'm like, can I please see a sleep person? Because I want to get off this medication. Like, I'm kind of, but if I don't take the medication, I won't sleep. I will be up the whole night.
Is,
Like,
is 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 that a thing with perimenopause? Because my wife's going through
yes,
this as
yes,
well.
it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Sleep is a huge, but I'm saying
It
MS
kicks your
plus
butt. It kicks your butt.
MS
It's
plus
like,
perimenopause. It's like,
Because that's something else
it's
my
like,
wife is going through
what's,
at the same time with all of this.
yeah,
that, and
Right.
that
yeah.
So this
it
isn't
it
just
really
my story. And I
No,
realized
it gets better. I mean, I've always had friends who are a little older than me. And so, everybody promised me, because with me, it was like 50, 51, something like that. And then, and that's when the neurologist, even though I got diagnosed in 2019, she thought I must have had symptoms way before that. But everybody I knew would say, no, you just have menopause. It'll get better. And you're like, it can't. And plus, if you had high anxiety your whole life anyway, and then you have this on top of it, and it's like, you'll get better. And then actually the MS was affecting, like many things, like many people will say, you report symptoms and they go, oh, you have anxiety. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's
I was
that,
gonna say, I don't think I know the difference between the anxiety and the MS. How could I tell?
And then you
You know?
have, well, see, I could tell because I knew that I was, much better with that stuff, but still, anyway, that's just a common thing. But now I lost my, I
One
lost
thing
my train of thought.
one thing I would say, Nate, I bring up to people, since you're relatively new to MS, is some people before MS, they didn't have issues with their mental health, but after MS, they do because the comorbidity of having MS and depression is like 50%. Are you depressed because you have MS, or is the MS causing the depression? So
I
some,
got hit with a lot at once. I
oh,
got
and
put
you
on.
And then
had,
the COVID,
yeah,
and then the
I'm just,
Yeah,
COVID. I haven't
yeah.
had COVID, but I
So
know from other people,
I just want
it's
you to be
it's
aware that despite all the deaths and all the stuff that you've dealt with, that if you're like, I was able to
yeah.
handle stuff before, but
Oh
that's
no,
really a hard time.
they
Just be it's probably due to the MS, and you
they
might.
put me on they put me on Lamictal and Wellbutrin like immediately. That's the message. Hold on, I'm gonna see what she needs.
yeah. Let's give her a meal. I'm not on anything. Well, no, I just take Empira, but I'm at now. It's taken this long, and I had a rough couple of weeks that things, I had a hard time. I was kind of going downhill November, December, and then I don't even remember what I did to change things around. I'm doing more physical activity. I sort of have a little program. My primary care doctor is an osteopath. She has me come in once a month. She does treatment.
She still does the manual manipulations.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I know
That's
you've always
amazing.
raved about them.
Well, but now it's really helping with like a lot of
1 2 1
things.
2. All right, you can hear me.
So, Nate, I wanted to suggest to you, because you said you're kind of a nerd, and
A
I
little bit.
I couldn't find, I didn't know people who had MS. Sure, I got a walker at the end in August 2018, and I could still walk, but I just thought, I
I
don't
have a
know.
cane to stand on. I named him Bill Withers for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, it started with, look, when I went to that appointment in January 2019, I had a cane, but I could still walk. And I always walked. I grew up in New York City. If you know
Uh,
anything about New Yorkers, we walk.
I I have a
You
well, I
walk.
grew up in Pittsburgh. I got a question though for you. You live in California now?
Yeah.
In Oakland, is there any good pizza there? Because there's none in the south
Wait,
part of
is
the
there
state.
any what? Good
Good
pizza here?
pizza, yeah, up
Well,
north.
here's the thing.
That's a no.
I've been here for since 1980. I can't do the math. Is that 45 years or more?
Close enough.
So you kind of
It's
change.
wait, it's 46 years because I'm 47.
Something like that, yeah. And so you kind of, after a while, you get over what quote good pizza is. And there was a New York kind of pizzeria that's still around that I liked, but the food is so good here. I mean, this is like a food, oh my God, orgy. So you just kind of have to, and I'm also when in Rome, like literally, I've been to Rome, I've been to Vietnam, I've been to wherever I travel, I eat the food that's
Yeah.
there and I enjoy it. And then as soon as I get home, I'm like, oh God, I'm so glad I can make pancakes again. I can have pizza again. I can have whatever I like. So the pizza here, this now Oakland is insane. Like, and I don't go out much, because I've got limited mobility. But every other week there's a brand new restaurant, there's a brand new Rave and Crave. So I'm good with the pizza here, but I hear what you're saying. And then
I got you on a tangent. I'm so sorry.
No. And then there's a place. Well, I went back to the Freight, which is a music venue. I mean, it's an amazing music venue, and I went back to volunteer. And the volunteer coordinator, I'm friends with his wife and him. And he said, Karen, you need to come back to volunteer, at 2019 when 2020. And I said, I don't want to. I don't even want to go there. I'm not even interested. I don't really want to go there. I don't want to do that anymore. And I just like got, had paratransit. Oh God, I think everybody see that white bus. Everybody's gonna see me get on that stupid white bus. I don't want to hobble around with my walker anymore. And since July, I've been going out in my wheelchair, and that's like a game changer. It's just a game changer. I'm not tired from going out. And so I get out, and then I got stranded with a parrot. I've had a few incidences. And then I came home after being sort of stranded, but they finally came and got me. And I called the volunteer corps and I said, I'm ready to come back. He said, okay. And I'm going to go 2 times this week. I used to get 2 or 3 shifts, and I'm in my chair. So I hadn't seen people for a long time, like since 2020. And around January, February 2020, I'm like, I can't just like keep going out like this. I didn't go out with my walker. I can't keep up this lifestyle. What am I going to do? And then COVID hit, and I'm like, oh, my whole world came right here, right here. and I've never really kind of came out of that. And now it's every week somebody's died. 2 people died from my greater community. So I would just want to say this too, Nate, that you said, well, I know other people are in worse shape. And, I just think it's a natural thing. I go, well, at least I don't have cancer. Like
Yeah.
I'm not taking chemotherapy.
At the
I don't
same
have,
time, though, our nervous system doesn't recognize that. Like it's not a trauma is not a contest, and the human reaction just doesn't recognize that.
right.
Viktor Frankl wrote about this, and I think he used something about like a balloon. Like it doesn't matter how much pull it is. Like it's whatever you're dealing with. It's not like, oh well, you compare to me, so I shouldn't be having issues. And
I think it's
he
a
had a good
mental
way
thing
in
that helps.
Man's Search of Meaning, his famous book. He talks about it. He mentions it about like comparing, your trauma compared to my something like that. He
I
does a
find
very
it
good job.
inspiring.
I'm screwing it up, so
Yeah.
look it up.
Yeah, the way I have found it though is I'm finding it inspiring because it's more like, well, I'm not that bad, so what can I do with it? Because if you can't, if you could, you would, right? So let's see what I
Yeah.
can do.
So let me quote Kim. Let me quote Kim, because
Uh-oh.
she's very what because I didn't really have support. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know people. And Kim reminds me, because also let it be a good warning to you. There's the up and the down. And Kim always says, and I always hear it in my head, Karen, did you have time to grieve that? Did you have time to grieve that? It's okay to grieve that, and
When you have different phases of MS, because a lot of times
yeah,
people
of what
grieve.
what you're losing when you're losing more
Yeah,
function, and when
they're
you're
doing
losing it.
really, yeah, they're doing really well, and then something switches, and they're like, oh, I'm not used to this because this is a
Oh
new
yeah.
normal. This is totally weird. So just be aware to adjust your sails and allow yourself to grieve, because it is hard to lose. It's hard to be able to like not be able to work full time and not being able to drive and having that, when I had
That
the
that was a slow crawl.
yeah, when
That
I
was
went completely blind in my left eye for 5 days and I got the vision slowly back, if I closed that one eye or opened it up and closed my other eye, I couldn't see the car in front of me. It was completely, because I first got the peripheral back before I got the
right.
main, and it was wild, wild to see the frame around a photo, a picture, but you couldn't see the actual picture because um it was not enough
I
contrast.
relate.
Yeah, opening up a book and you can see the pages, but they all look completely blank because there's not enough
Mhm.
contrast to see the letters and the words on the page. Wild, absolutely
I mean,
wild.
that's like terrifying. I had a moment
Yeah.
once where but I mean, people would say to me, "Oh, you'll see, your life is different." Here's what I think is going to happen with you, Nate. I don't know that everybody's like that, but you're creative and you adapt and you just find new ways to do things. And my world has shrunk.
Yeah.
I don't go out to those fancy new restaurants. I don't care. I don't know, But there's a pizza place right near the music venue that I volunteer at, and
Mhm.
oh, I heard it's like she won like the pizza contest in Napoli. She was this, she trained with the whatever. So I went in there, I said, oh, I got to try that pizza. And, Nate, it's okay. But it's just okay. And it's more like more Italian pizza and
Yeah.
wood fired or whatever everything. And I'm like, I've just gotten used to other pizza. Well, here's another thing.
I'm with you. I've
Bagels.
lived here 20 years, so I'm with
Well, and then another thing, bagels.
it. Oh yeah.
Coincidentally, right around the corner from where my primary care is, where I go for osteopathic manipulation and my regular doctor, I go there and now I take paratransit. I go in my chair, so I'm not hobbling. And like literally around the corner, which was getting too hard to walk to, I can go in there and get my pumpernickel bagels, and they're good. And so that like there's that. And then my bank is near there. I live in Oakland. I'm not about to go anywhere and go, can I have, $300 put in my pocket in
Right.
Oakland? I mean, even when I go to get cash back, I'm like, can you do it discreetly? And so I go into my bank and I go in there and then I go in this. And then I started going out to eat with my wheelchair. There's a little place I go to, and it's a Thai place, and they're just so nice to me. And then sometimes I'll go somewhere else, and I go in there, and we were talking about singing once, and they're just so adorable. And so she's like, "Okay, sing to me." She's like, I forgot she likes old swing music. So I'm, in the restaurant, they treat me, nice, a nice thing. She says, "Oh," and she started singing. "Oh, we like." So it's just kind of a different experience. Or I
So when
went
you're
after that. I went to CVS to go shop to pick some things up, and there were a bunch of like geriatrics in front of me in line. And then I said, and they go, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, but I have to get the paratransit bus." I now go back to Kaiser just because when I don't go to Kaiser, I'm like just anybody. But I'm at Kaiser. I'm at the doctor, like so I go. So then they went and said, She's got a bus picking her up. She's got a bus picking her up. She's got a bus picking her up." And everybody let me get ahead. I had plenty of time to get back. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying being that special person in the wheelchair. I just have more energy when I get out. And when I hadn't been back, there's a group called Wake the Dead, and they really good musicians, and they play Grateful Dead music in a Celtic style. So that was my first time I went back, and I wasn't even interested in music. I knew I'd know everybody there, and it was sold out, and it was fun, and I'm seeing people, "Hey, Karen," and then everybody's like, "Oh, you look really good," and I'm like, "You don't." You don't. I didn't say it to them, but I'm like, yeah, 6 years when you're in your late 60s, 70s, it
So
does a lot.
depending on what you're going through, sometimes when you're going through a difficult time, your world will get really small. And then as you get through it, then your world can get bigger again. So like there was a portion when I was essentially bedbound for about 5.5 months. I couldn't, the only food I could do is microwave or ready to eat. I couldn't even make pasta on the
Yikes.
stove because boiling water was too tiring. It was too exhausting. I couldn't do it.
Is that a
And
long
like,
time ago?
no, it was fall of 2018, beginning of 2020.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still a long time ago.
Well, I guess
mean, not
I
since
mean, but yeah. So, and it was, and I couldn't really, a lot of times I couldn't listen to stuff because my brain processing speed slowed down. I could hear the sounds, but I couldn't make sense of the sounds, if that makes sense.
Sorry, my camera's messing up. Right? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, so yeah, so it's just, it's really important to be able to, like seeing John, like really exploding, doing amazing, doing things by himself, and you trying to exercise and get in shape, and seeing like changing the things you can, and then also giving yourself the cutting off the slack, giving yourself what was it? A
permission.
break, permission. Like when you can't do things, don't beat up yourself. It's just like, and the thing that I tell people, this took, I'm embarrassed, Nate, how long this took me to figure out. Um, but it took me a long time to figure out the best way to manage my MS is listen to my body and follow my intuition. But you know how hard it is to
Yeah.
listen to your body when you were starting to go to school and you're forced out to like just push through. And
So
I had to relearn how to listen to my body.
that's the stage I'm in now. I'm calling them smoke detectors. Like I can start to feel like my vision will get glowy. It could be kind of glowy, like, okay, settle down. Or I'll get like a little bit too much in the head. All right,
Yeah,
settle down.
you'll get like these little like prodromal,
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I need to.
Like a smoke detector before the fire.
And I
Exactly.
don't feel like
It's a
getting
good
out of bed
analogy.
today.
That's a good
Yeah, and it's
analogy.
like I don't feel like getting out of bed today. Well, wait a minute. You went to the theater on this night, and then you had the caregiver here. Then you went to volunteer at the music thing, and so it's Monday. I'm in bed. That's fine. I can do that. There's nothing. No, no, no. I don't have to do anything. Tuesday, I give myself. But what happens recently? I mean, I'm going to say recently. November, December, I really started to lose a lot more mobility and I was feeling a lot more frail and it was depressing, right? And then it's winter and it's raining and yeah. And I realized I completely lost touch with my body. I just completely lost touch with my body. And then and I guess it hit me at the very end of December. So I had the last Wednesday in December, I had that OMT, the osteopathic manipulation technique. And my doctor's it's like a spiritual thing too for her. She thinks, I think is a really nice relationship I have with her because early on I said, I've done a lot of woo woo. She goes, don't call it that. But it is woo woo, it is kind of magical. But at that time I just went, I completely lost touch with my body. So that's why I'm just saying, don't trust it that much. And so I went, okay, I've always kind of had a movement practice or a dance practice or this, and I have one that I do online. And I just said, I did have home health for a while, and 3 PTs were terrible, but the last one was amazing. And I just went, why don't I just start doing 8 minutes a day? If I do 8 minutes a day of something, it's 8 minutes more than no minutes. And then, and I know if I do 8 minutes and I only did 5, so I only did 5, but it's 5 more minutes. And there's someone else I know from another group, and I think of her every day when I do it because she goes, yeah, but it's on. So I channel her, but I have handrails like all around my house. That was another thing I got from the guy who helped me learn. So I have just like handrails everywhere. So I can, stand and I can hold on and then I can bend down and I have handrails going into the bathroom, out of the bathroom. I wasn't even doing that. I wasn't doing anything. And I have handrails to get my mail. So now when I'm down there, I'm there and I swerve my hips around. And then I went there's a giveaway place where they have things. And I went there because I was near there and I went in and I forgot what I was going to look for. And then they said, hey, what about one of these like step things, like a pedal, like a under the table pedal thing. I have to get kind of back into it, but I just have an array of things that I do, and I'm confessing I haven't been doing it. I have to get back into it because it made a huge difference. It just made a huge difference of I forgot. I forgot. I forgot what to do with my body. I forgot. I know some things and I have an impinged shoulder and that's even better. And so, it comes and goes what you can and what you can't do. But I wanted to make one recommendation to you, whether you like it or not, and whether it works for you. Because everything is AI now, and you go and the algorithms just feed you that you're really not even in control of your own brain anymore. Like what resources you want, you put something in and they just go, are you looking for restaurants? No, I'm not looking for freaking restaurants. So I'm just going to say, I could type it in, but it's hard. The wheelchair kamikaze. Look up the wheelchair kamikaze. I'm pretty sure he's still alive, but he got diagnosed and he was a really beyond a nerd, like, and he left a blog and I forgot, I saw somewhere and someone mentioned it. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about the wheelchair kamikaze. I literally read every one of his posts. He stopped posting by the time I was diagnosed, but he went to he lives in New York City. He's like, they've named blogs after him and he's just kind of into oblivion. And
It looks
I'm
like
pretty
he
sure he
hasn't
hasn't.
posted in since
No,
2019.
he hasn't. He hasn't. And then at some point, someone asked him. But I'm saying that was my Bible, Nate. That was my Bible. Because I said, if anybody could find answers, it would be him. If anybody knew, he's funny. He's just really cool. I think I sent it to someone from my art thing. I said, I think you'll like him. And he was doing, because she's in a wheelchair too, and she's a lot younger than me, but he posted videos of him traveling around with his wheelchair in New York, and he's funny, but he's like does research, and that was just my Bible. I just thought, anything I need to know about MS, I'm gonna find from him. That was 2019. That's so or 2020. I think I didn't find until later. But think about the world. I mean, how many years has that been? 6 years? How everything's changed, and how accessing information, and how you're pushed into algorithms, and even if you ask for something specific, it's really hard to get. But I just was reminded of it, and I sent it to her because she's kind of nerdy too, and I said, you'll just because some of the people are, and like, really, you go out with your wheelchair? Well, how do you get in the bathroom, and how do you do that? What do you do? How do you do that? And I am chatty. I'm chatty, and I notice when I go out, everything is interesting and exciting. And I have a friend in Wales that we just chat like once a month or so, twice a month. And then I said, I don't get out much. And so, as you know, I have these like experiences, and I go, I don't get out much. So it was interesting. He said, Karen, you need to do a comedy routine. I don't get out much. So I chat with the drivers, the paratransit drivers. I chat with the other passengers. I'm out. It's like my world has shrunk and it's smaller, but yet I'm much more able to hold space. I'm a much deeper listener. I never have been as good at that. It's not my forte, as you can hear, but I'm just that thing about gratitude. And a lot of like recently very like stupid things have happened that are just incredibly frustrating, and I'm feeling angry, and I realize, and I've never been like that, where I just go, there's just it's something my heart opened a little more. And I realized, okay, that was an inconvenience. But what about that? I'm not a Pollyanna at all. In fact, I had to stop coming here because so many people are from the Midwest, and I'm like, okay, they really don't get me. Like,
You don't think I
but
get you, Karen?
no, no. You're not, no, you're like, you're on the, no, and I met this woman in my neighborhood online. We talked. I never met her because I couldn't get into the building where she lives, but she's from New York. She had MS, and I said, I was going to this group, but they were all from the Midwest, and she went, "Oh, no, no, that's not for us." It's just,
How is the Midwest different? I'm intrigued.
well, now that there's a lot of like Minnesota things, that you're hearing about Minnesota, with ice being there and whatever, and so there's a thing called Minnesota nice.
Mhm. Or there's Iowa nice, there's Midwestern nice,
I'm
yeah.
guessing, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys are the only ones I've known from the Midwest.
My
One
my
can
brother,
almost say,
I'm sorry, my brother and
yeah,
sister-in-law live
no,
up in Minnesota, and their kids come and stay with us every summer.
We,
So
we
we
we've never
go to
had
the
any
wedding.
Minnesotans in the group.
Yeah.
no, but I mean, just that Midwest thing, like Pittsburgh, like you keep going, I'm from Pittsburgh. And it's
Yep.
like, when you say I'm from Pittsburgh, that to me is almost the Midwest, but it's not.
It's the line.
It's not. It's working class. I'm
It's a
working
I
line.
would
class, and like,
never
Absolutely.
consider I would think Pittsburgh's the East Coast in
It's
my
it's
assessment.
us in Cleveland are like right at the line.
Hmm.
but
But yeah,
Pittsburgh is, there's this thing, like I'm from Pittsburgh. It's a working class, and
damn straight. It's tough people. Yeah, Steel City.
yeah. So, I just feel more comfortable around that. Plus, whatever I was going through with my MS and whatever, and how I cope and how I deal with it. I don't know if you get me. You know what? The truth is, Kim, I don't fucking care if people get me. I really don't fucking care. I had a neighbor come around. She's been wanting to be my friend for like years. She came around, then she came around to tell me that, that I mean, it's like she's harboring this thing for 5 freaking years. And she's like, and I said, look, I'm, I couldn't believe she was harboring all this stuff. And then I said, I don't care. I know that Judy down the street has a hard time with me. I think she wished she liked me better, but she's a good neighbor, and we just recently chatted on email, and we do stuff. And I said, I know, Judy, I'm overwhelming. I know that. And then she said, well, then don't you want, and she's not even from the Midwest, but she's like, well, don't you want to be nice? Don't you want people to feel good? And I go, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care what people think about me. You know, her jaw just dropped. I'm like, no, I really don't fucking care. You know, I mean, I'm not out
Well,
to abuse people, but I
on
don't
that
fucking care if you like me.
on that note, Karen, it is 10 o'clock my time, and I am gonna get
Okay.
out. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave. If you guys want to chat, you can stay in the
No,
room, or I can close it
no,
out.
that's, you know, that's